This is James here with Conquest, and we are here talking to Rob Heitzu. He is one of the authors of 13th Age, a role-playing game, pen and paper role-playing game.
Yeah.
We got to.
The distinctions were important.
It very much is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got one good question for you. Okay, so I come from a role-playing background. I've been role-playing since I was 7 years old up until now, so I've got quite a bit of role-playing under my belt.
You're about to date yourself really quickly as soon as we ask what your first game was. Okay, that's cool.
Okay,
all right,
okay.
Good.
So the regular fantasy genres, you know, you have your swords, you have your monsters and stuff. What does 13th Age do that differentiates itself from that?
In one sense, I think the answer is it unashamedly draws all aspects that individual players want for their campaigns. I think what'll happen is, like, if you look at like many game worlds, they're telling you specific things about the world, but they're saying, okay, in this particular temple, this is a priest, yada 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 yada. What we did is by orienting the game around 13 icons. The icons are really, really powerful non-player characters who have organizations throughout the world. So because you know that most every D&D or fantasy world, there's an archmage, there's an emperor, there's some sort of queen of the elves, there's some sort of dwarf king, there's a lich king.
Right.
We sort of said, well, let's take those stereotypes and make them into something that are archetypal instead. Let's go ahead and say, look, the archetype of the lich king, he exists in the world, and your player characters will have a relationship with it. Now what it means is that in each individual campaign, the players, by making the backstory for their characters, and the game master, who makes decisions sometimes beforehand also, get to tell their version of a story that includes a lich king. So I think almost in a certain sense, just in terms of if you're asking just purely about the story of the world, it's a half-designed world.
Okay.
We give you these big signposts, but we want you to go ahead and paint the interesting stuff on the sign and also tell us where it's going.
Okay.
I mean, if you decide, actually, I think the Lich King is the unsung hero of the world, the Emperor is out to destroy everything, the Lich King is like, you know, the people who are being born as zombies are gradually rising all the way to vampires, and then they're human again. Yay! You know, well, that's a very different campaign,
yes.
but you could do that, and that's entirely within the scope of what's going on. So, you know, Jonathan would certainly have a different answer. No, maybe not. Maybe he would agree. I mean, in a certain sense, you ask, what are we adding? Well, whenever you have games that say, wow, we're really adding something, what they're doing is distinguishing themselves as quite different. We recognize in a certain sense that one of the tricks with 13th Age is we're trying to go ahead and tell people, take the things that feel familiar, but twist them yourself into a new shape.
Put your own spin on it.
Yeah, we're trying. I mean, obviously the book is full of things where we try to be clever, or we have cute little ideas, but we're also telling people your ideas are just as clever or more so. Please go ahead and do things that are different. So in one sense, when Jonathan and I are arguing with each other in the book about what the rules actually are, because he plays one way and I play a different way, we're also trying to communicate to people, please go ahead and play a game. So that same angle could be applied to the story stuff you're talking about as well.
Perfect. Yeah. And is it out? Is it out yet?
Wow, you know, I had all these other interviews where every time somebody said, is it out yet? I would say, no, the house of the layout guy burned down, or something, you know, truthful and stupid. But now I can say, yes.
Awesome.
I can't believe it's really only been a month, I think, or so it's been out, right? Yeah. And then yesterday, today is Saturday. Yesterday, Friday, the new bestiary for the 13th Age went on sale at a pre-order through Pelgrane. So not only is it out, the second book is also out. Did that only happen a month later? Something's deeply wrong with my schedule. Yeah,
something's going incredibly right for you.
One of the things was slow. One of those was slow.
Okay.
Yeah,
and so where can we find you on the internet then?
robhainso.blogspot.com is where I blog. I also do things at Rob Hainso, no other thing, on Twitter.
On Twitter, okay.
Those are probably the best places.
Okay. And other than the bestiary coming up, is there any other things in the works?
Well, Jonathan and I are working on 13 True Ways. Okay. This is a book that we did a really, my PR person hates it when I describe it as silly or stupid or other words. Yeah. We did a Kickstarter for the expansion before the first game was out.
Oh, okay.
I consider that to be hard. It was kind of an odd project, but it succeeded.
Oh, great.
And people gave us money, and now we have to do the sequel. So, and I'm really psyched about it because we're sort of taking the old school attitude that instead of being like, oh, it's a very, very full book about one particular aspect of the world, we're just doing all the best stuff we can think of. So there's, you know, hopefully rules for dragon writing, special stuff on Drakenhall because people voted that they really wanted to see interesting maps of it. 6 new classes.
Awesome.
Jonathan's lists of 13, which is where he takes any bizarre topic and chooses 13 examples of it that should improve people's games.
Okay.
So stuff like that.
Sounds like a great book.
It's going to be very fun.
Awesome.
And also new art styles from Lee Moyer and Aaron McConnell, our 2 artists.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of good. Oh, and all the fun stuff that fans contributed from the Kickstarter.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be an interesting book. Awesome. So there's that going on. There's other stuff too, including other people doing Kickstarters of their own, where they, like Primeval Fool is doing a 13th Age version of their setting.
Oh, great.
And so there's stuff like that coming out from other people, which is very fun too. Awesome. But I'm not working on that, so you know,
yes, yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's good.
All right. Thank you.
All right.